So today we're going to be working on this 1965 Ford Thunderbird. This thing's in pretty good condition. Interior wise, it's almost mint. Obviously it's more than 40 years old, so it's not going to be perfect, but this thing's got a Holley Sniper EFI system, so you could tune it, you could change the AFR fuel ratios, you can change the ignition timing, lots of stuff. This car is pretty tunable. It's in good shape. But today we're going to be doing the brake pads. It's going to be pretty simple. Should be able to get it done in less than an hour. Yeah, we got the Holley EFI distributor, the coil, and then that's the intake. So it's got a little bit of upgrades, but it's a nice car. Drove this thing the other day, realized that once you get to a stop, it starts pulling to the left a lot. So I got underneath it and figured out that, I don't know if that's visible or not, but the rotor on that side is kind of grooved, and this one's not looking too good. So we got brand new brake pads. Picked them up this morning. 1965 Thunderbird. That's a little bit better. Anyways, we got the brake pads. We're gonna go ahead and move this car over here so we can go ahead and install the brake pads, the key. Old school. Very old school. Each store has a different key. It's pretty cool. Oops, I got my phone. But so this thing, how to start it, you go on here, move this column, make sure it's in park. If it doesn't start, move the steering wheel, and if it hits the right place, it'll start. So pretty easy. Then you have to push the steering all the way back and then get it out of gear, otherwise it doesn't do anything. So this Holley EFI system, it's pretty cool, pretty neat. You can check your AFR ratios, your timing, ignition. Right now it's at 18, 19 degrees. Ideally, you would want it retard timing, but so negative 10 degrees. The RPM's at 800, TPS sensor's at 0. Whenever we first got this car, it only opened to 35% throttle and it was tuned to that. So I went back in there, kind of fixed the accelerator throttle. Now you have full range. It goes all the way up to 100% on TPS. So this way we're able to open up the throttle bodies all the way, get more air in there, and at the same time with this you can throw more fuel in there. So I've been trying to kind of tune it properly. Not gonna work very well. Now here's all your sensors, battery voltage, 30 cycle RPM, ignition timing degrees. It's at 13 degrees. And I'm holding a little bit of throttle, 5% throttle, solid at 15. And you saw I got all the way up, kind of retard timing or advanced timing a little bit. Helps the engine pull up the RPMs. So let's go ahead and get this thing moved. Alright, we're in park. I think this thing's up straight. Yep, it is indeed. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this. So first thing you would do for changing brake pads, back the car up. Actually, I like it. First thing you would do to change brake pads, you loosen your lug nuts, both sides, then jack the car up. So obviously got the brake pads off, push the piston back in with just a flat head. What you basically want to do is just, pads are in there, get in between the pads, or start off with the disc, start pushing your caliper towards you. That way you can press the piston that's in it, and then you get in here, start pulling it towards you. You pull the caliper towards you, compresses the piston even more, so you can go ahead and get your pads out. We got our pads out. You could clearly tell they're very different. Sadly, I'm going to go back to the auto parts store and see what this number goes to. I bought these pads for 1965 Ford Thunderbird. I got the brake shoes the first day. The second day, I got the pads, but the pads are not the right ones. So, what does that mean? This means that these are not original brakes. This has to came off another vehicle, which I don't know what it is. So if these don't fit, then that means we're gonna have to source the pads for another vehicle that has these brakes. So we're gonna have to go off that year, make, and model. Obviously these are different. That's unfortunate. I'm sure we could make them fit if we cut them, but that's not the point. We want the right parts. So let's go back to the auto parts store, see if we can get the right ones, so we can go ahead and assemble this thing. It's already jacked up and everything. All right, let's go. Junk. Cool, so we got some brake pads for this thing. These are Pontiac brake pads, apparently. 1980s Firebird. So, get those in here. And those go right there. They fit pretty well. Oh, I think I'd compress the caliper a little bit more, maybe. Right off the bat, what you want to do is put the old one on. Put the old one on. That way you can actually fit your caliper. And then get back in here and you compress your caliper once again. That way you give yourself more space to put your brand new one. So alrighty, let's get this thing in here. Cool, let's get this one on. So this thing is on, make sure it's all in all the way. Put some weight on this, make sure they don't fall off. That should be tight enough. Tighten this one. And you're good to go. You see all that play? So you get back in the car and you pump your brakes. See, it goes almost all the way down to the floor. Let it come back. Press it in again. Pull it towards you. And there you go. You compress your caliper and you check you have no play. No play at all. So now we're good to put the wheel back on. Pull down, pull down. There you go. All right, so this one goes in here. All right, so we got this thing all put together. We're gonna go test drive it, make sure it's all good. Fuel pump going. Steering wheel and stuff. Get my phone. But this thing should be A1. I changed the ignition timing a little bit at wide open throttle, so we'll see if it does anything. We'll see what's up. Dude, the timing, it was a lot nicer. AFR seem A-okay. Nothing wrong with it. We're low in fuel, which we should focus on. It's pretty easy since I've been driving this thing. These cars just sit at idle, basically. I mean, idle's more like 700 RPMs, but this thing's pretty low at right around 1300, around 500 more, but 600 more. But it's a beautiful day, beautiful sunset. Seems all right. Nothing major I can point out at the moment. So we can do a U-turn right here. I believe the fuel tank is on this side. This thing feels so peppy now. Such a nice car. Oh, fuel tank's on this side. Great. What's with this one? It is indeed. So there you have it. That was the issue with the Thunderbird. We changed the brake pads and now it's running better than ever. I've messed with the ignition timing, retarded a little bit, and it actually feels more alive. The car runs a lot better now, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, for now, that's it for this car. I don't have any plans for it yet. We were supposed to paint it, but we're thinking about wrapping it chrome, and that's gonna look super sick. So we don't know yet what route we're gonna go with this project, but honestly, it's a good running car, pretty reliable too with the fuel injection that's been added to it. So pretty happy with it. But yeah, all it needed was some brakes. We ended up finding the brakes were for a Pontiac. I don't know why, but I'm guessing this car did not come stock with front disc brakes. It actually came with drums, so these were upgraded. Obviously, you put a new different spindle on the here that actually fits the bottom control arms and the top ones. and that happened to be from a Pontiac, and same as the rotors and the actual caliper. So we got the brake pads installed, drove it around, feels great, great car. This video is being filmed a few weeks afterwards. I forgot to do an outro for it, but yeah, there you guys have it. That's the video for the Thunderbird. This thing will be seen in the background a lot. This car stays here at the shop. This is one of our projects, and right now this thing's mint. Like, there's nothing really that it needs other than the dash, because it has one crack in it, but it doesn't really bother anybody. This thing's great. All tires are good, engine runs fine. So for now, this thing will stay here and just sit pretty next to all the hoopties. Thank you guys for watching. See you in another video.